I read that scientists in the Pentagon and NASA are trying to, instead of using the term unidentified flying object, UFO, they're now using unidentified aerial phenomenon or unidentified anomalous phenomenon in order to try to get away from the association that the term unidentified flying object has with flying saucer or extraterrestrial um, object. I really don't think this is going to do any good. Just changing the name of something. I think it would probably just do better to, just reiterate that unidentified just means unidentified. Because if you call it UFO or UAP, then, a lot of people's minds, instead of saying UFO for flying saucer or extraterrestrial, they're going to say UAP for flying saucer or extraterrestrial. Now, my own opinion is that probably we have not been visited. I don't know, but I'm open-minded. I don't know. I just think that the extraordinary distances make it unlikely. And I also think they make it very unlikely that we're going to visit anybody else or anybody else is going to visit us, if they exist. Which, of course, leads to the question of, do they exist? Is there life elsewhere in the universe? And if there is life elsewhere in the universe, has that life evolved into self-conscious intelligence? Those are two separate questions. I don't know. And I think it's quite possible that we're never going to know. I think it's quite possible that if we still exist 50,000 years from now, those people who still exist, those humans who still exist, even if they have to exist on their own flying saucer because the Earth has blown up, or they have to create a artificial planet, they might not know. Again, because of the extraordinary distances. It is possible that the conditions for life are so extraordinary and so specific that maybe they just didn't happen anyplace else. I believe there was an article written with that hypothesis called, and it said, nobody here but us Earthlings. And I do think, it is possible that there is nobody else out there, not even any amoebas or bacteria, or even any very simple life out there, or much less any intelligent life. Okay, now, and another thing about it, of course, is, if there is life if there is life, and would they evolve into intelligent life? And would they evolve into intelligent life that was so much like us and that shares our attitudes and values to the extent that they would be interested in contacting another life form? Maybe they wouldn't be. Um, we just don't know. And as I said, we may never know. There's a lot of questions that are never going to be answered. And questions having to do with life on other planets and other galaxies and other parts of the universe might be some of those questions that are always going to dangle. Of course, they could always inspire people, inspire a lot of interesting science fiction work, and also inspire a lot of productive science. But are they going to